What is going on between Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma? I believe this is the question you would like to get the answer. You would like to get a better explanation about what is going on between the current president of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. President Cyril Ramaphosa, and the former president of the Republic of South Africa, Jacob Zuma. Imagine from this to where we are now. Remember, during his mandate as a president of the Republic of South Africa, former President Jacob Zuma used to be very close to President Cyril Ramaphosa to the point of making him as his right hand. Because when Zuma was a president, on the other side, we're having Ramaphosa as a deputy president of this country. Now, what happened today? All this suddenly, things have to turn around and they have to start go and deal of each other inside the court. Well, in this video, this is what we're going to discuss. We're going to drive you through what is going on. Wait, former President Jacob Zuma to decide to take President Ramaphosa to court. For what reason? We're going to find out in this video. Of course, you guys will get also to see how President Cyril Ramaphosa decide also to react in a legal way to challenge Jacob Zuma inside the court. For what reason? We're going to discuss again that in this video. Long ago, last year, we get to see the former president of the Republic of South Africa, Jacob Zuma, came in the media after appearing inside the court. He had to start revenging, in other way, that everyone who he feel like they are behind his appearing inside the court, they should not go free. Instead, he kind of like trying to challenge them and to bring them inside the court. And he did not start only with the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Ramaphosa. Instead, he started with the lawyer, the state lawyer who was actually trying to challenge him inside the court, and the journalist. You guys, for those who always watch us, remember we made a couple of videos about it. We told you what was the real reasons and what was the real motivation behind all this challenge that former President Jacob Zuma had to take them to the court. But this time he had to go far by attacking his fellow ANC member, his right hand then, the person that he used to trust it the most. And he have to go and accuse Ramaphosa inside the court. That Ramaphosa have to come and explain why he had to abandon or to leave the former President Jacob Zuma in all this alone. And the moment when he made this allegation against the President of the Republic, I had come here and I told you what I had think of according to my resource. And you get to see that the president, former president, I mean to say, Jacob Zuma, was so determined to make sure that everyone who have something to do with his appearing inside the court, they should also have to tell the whole story the way they should have done. And I made again another video telling you why he had to get that kind of courage to go all the way to the court and accuse President Ramaphosa. And one of these reasons that really motivated the former President Jacob Zuma was for the fact, as I said before, that he trusted certain people during his mandate. And as he was going out from the office, because remember, Jacob Zuma did not finish his mandate. Instead, he resigned from his office because of the allegations which were against him. So he was expecting to get some protection from the ANC. He was expecting to get some protection from his deputy president, which used to be then President Ramaphosa. He was expecting to get some protection from the Chief Justice Zondo. This way, his close people that he used to deal with, he used to, like promoting them, protecting them while he was still in power. So now that he was no longer in power, he was actually expecting to get some protection from them. And the moment he was asked to resign from the office, just for the sake of peace, for the sake of democracy, and since he believed that these people I mentioned, they're supposed to be protecting him, he left the office without resisting. Now, when it was the turn for these people to start protecting him, for these people to follow up and try to understand, because when he resigned, he did not know that he was gonna appear inside the court. These things of Zuma appearing inside the court start happening after then. He had already resigned from the office. Now that he's appearing inside the court, people who were approaching him during his mandate, during his last days in the office, telling him that, no, Mr. President, for the sake of our democracy, we think you should resign. We'll follow up this case and we'll try to see what we can do for you. He was expecting these people to come forward and try to help him out. Instead, everyone, almost in majority, they turned their backs on him. That disappointment, seeing people you trusted the most turning their backs on you, seeing people used to call you your excellency, today that the same people turned their back on you and now they're busy calling somebody else your excellency. This, to Jacob Zuma, as I said it in that video, it was kind of like a betrayal, which he could not stand or tolerate. Therefore, he started now looking, what can I do? What can I do in order to expose some people who've been hiding behind all this and pretending like they're the saint more than anyone? Now, that was his then reasons why he had to get that motivation in order for him to go ahead and start pressing charge against the President of the Republic. And he have done so. Now, perhaps in proper way, this is supposed to be something that maybe it was just a threat, so that when President Ramaphosa get to receive this kind of charges against him, he will find a proper way to go and try to negotiate with the former president, Jacob Zuma. Perhaps to tell him that, no, look, I've been looking up on your case, and this is how far I am. Just try to find that proper way to communicate, and try to have a better understanding of this matter. But what happened when this issue or charges against President Ramaphosa reach to his cabinet or to his lawyers or people who surround him? Well, their reactions, the way they respond, did not satisfy at all the Jacob Zuma Foundation. Perhaps the answer that President Ramaphosa gave back is not something that Jacob Zuma was expecting. So they kind of feel like they have challenged them. Therefore, they did not want to quit, especially when the President of the Republic tried to threaten the Jacob Zuma Foundation, asking them to withdraw the case. They have to give them that message that, look, we're giving you this certain time for you to withdraw this case. Otherwise, and we saw on how the Jacob Zuma Foundation react also immediately they reject also all that fact that we don't need this from the president or from his people. Since they're asking us by force to withdraw this case, we're not going to withdraw the case. Instead, we are going until the end. So, since this did not work in the favor of President Ramaphosa, last week, President Ramaphosa, in the ANC 55th National Congress, they asked him this question about what is he planning to do now that the Jacob Zuma Foundation refused to go ahead and withdraw the case. Let's have a listen more closely on what was the answer of the President Cyril Ramaphosa. Then I'll see you after then for more analytics.
Former President Jacob Zuma has decided to embark on a legal process such as the one that he has embarked on. And it's being handled by the lawyers. There'll be a court process, and could it be solved in any other way? Perhaps, but it has to be handled in the legal way as well, as it came through legally. There are ways, I guess, in which disputes can also be resolved. But right now, this is the way things are, and it is what it is, and we deal with it as it is.
Well, you heard it yourself. That is the President of the Republic, Cyril Ramaphosa, responding to the media questions. And you can tell for yourself that is more determined. This is no more flirting. This is no more trying to pretend. No, this is no more a cold war between Ramaphosa and Jacob Zuma. No. Instead, this is an open, battle where they're trying to challenge each other now. No more afraid of each other. President Ramaphosa said, let it be. So let it be, because we're going to fight in the legal way. Since they have tried to challenge us in the legal way, we're going to do the same. His message is loud and clear. And that was last week. Today inside the court, this happened.
Now Cyril Ramaphosa to stand trial. President Zuma had brought very clear and strong case against Cyril Ramaphosa. In this country, you know that a private prosecution is perfectly legitimate. You also know that there's no distinction between a private prosecution and a prosecution by the state. So the attempt by the state to try and make that distinction is fallacious, and it is not founded in law. Speculate about what the court is going to do. That is what I hate about the manner in which the media operates. You come and ask me a question already advancing an answer. I am not going to speculate. We are going to see what this court is going to do. And anyhow, you know that President Zuma will meet Cyril Ramaphosa on the 19th of January in court. So let us not understand this matter as it stands here as the end of the road. But beyond that, I'm not going to speculate, because that is a narrative you want to push. While at the same time, my position is I'm here with an open mind to hear what the court is going to do. And I sincerely hope that these judges of a full bench will do the right thing. I sincerely hope that they are not going to prove themselves to be captured.
Has been busy without no headway. So he now wants the court to be in the same space of shying away from holding him accountable. This is absurd. Will you accept the outcome? Only if it's lawful. But if it's a cooked outcome, we will not accept. We will accept an outcome that is in line with the Constitution. What we have here is a situation where we're dealing with a motion court. We're dealing with a civil court that is asked to overturn something that is supposed to be happening in a criminal court. That alone should be an anomaly. You as leaders should be asking, how is it possible that a civil court can overturn something that is in the timetable of the criminal court? This is absurd. So any outcome here that does not fit the Constitution will definitely not be accepted.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
President Ramaphosa sent his lawyer inside the court today to do what they call agent application. That is something you get to do when you are about to appear inside the court against the charges which are being pursued against you. And his lawyers had to argue inside the court about Jacob Zuma's case. They said that it is a breach of Section 7 and Section 9 of the CPA, making it unlawful. So Ramaphosa lawyers agreed that there is no way to remedy the situation if the president had to appear inside the court next week. And for your own information, the President of the Republic will have to appear inside the court next week. So the charges that former President Jacob Zuma had put against Ramaphosa, it will take place next week. So his lawyers came inside the court today to tell the court that the court should cancel these things. There is no way that President Ramaphosa will have to appear inside the court, because according to them, they believe that Jacob Zuma's case is in breach of Section 7 and 9 of the CPA. Well, as they were trying to say all these things inside the court, on the other side, we get to see Jacob Zuma lawyers, which was represented by himself, Ramaphosa. Let's have first listen to what the Ramaphosa lawyers were saying before we get to continue.
The private prosecution was absolutely under the different judgment of this from this division. Is that, well, a challenge to the validity of a summons or a certificate not a prosecution should be brought under Rule 53, and parties are applying the certificate, paragraph 8 of the judgment, and the summons in that case, in that case, the summons were set aside in it.
On the strength of the authorities you cite, there's a clear basis for the court to be approached for this form of relief.
In this context.
Well, that is the legal representative of President Cyril Ramaphosa talking to the court. And I wish I could play you all the video, but unfortunately we don't have all the time. Just to summarize on what they had said today inside the court. The lawyers of Mr. President Ramaphosa saying that there is no a legal foundation to sue the President of the Republic. So according to them, they are rejecting the fact of saying that Jacob Zuma Foundation have the right to come and sue the president. Two, they're saying that it is not the job of the President of the Republic of South Africa to be investigating some individuals on how they have violated the right of former President Jacob Zuma, yes or no. So they are trying to simply say that it is not it is not the responsibility of the President of the Republic, Ramaphosa, to go and try to investigate this lawyer who had violated the rights of the former President Jacob Zuma, or this journalist lady who had to go and publish a conversation which he had with the president, the former President of the Republic, behind closed door and go and submit it to the state advocate so that they will use it against the former president during his parodic appeal inside the court. Well, guys, it is what the lawyers of President of Republic of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, have to say to the court. But ask yourself a question. Why all this battle? Why do we get to see one side fighting so hard in order for President Ramaphosa to appear inside the court? On the other side, we are having a Ramaphosa who's also fighting not to appear inside the court. I'll tell you more about that in the next few minutes. But before that, I want us to pay more close look on what the legal, should I say, the lawyer of Jacob Zuma, Ramaphosa, had to say as well when it was his turn for him also to give his point of view or to discuss about this.
This applicant who's in front of you is the president of the country and the accused person. So the locus standi arises in that sense. Can the president come here to assert the rights of Mr. Ramaphosa, who lives in some place which we will not mention for security reasons? Can he do that? That's the first issue. If he cannot, and we have gone so far as to say the best he could have done, if I was him at least, would have to say, I'm coming here as the president, but I'm also citing Mr. Ramaphosa, the accused. Then we could have had a different debate.
Well, that is Ramaphosa getting to give his argument about it, trying to give his point of view as the legal representative of the Jacob Zuma Foundation and Jacob Zuma himself. And it's very clear in his message. He gets to challenge his learned friend who was representing the President of Republic of South Africa. The battle as you get to see it. Who's going to win this? Because now, next week on the 19th, if I'm not mistaken, the President of Republic will have to appear inside the court. Just as we get to see back in days with Nelson Mandela. But this time we get to see the president who's trying his best not to appear inside the court. For what reason? Well, the problem is very simple. I have spoken about this before. Some people never pay attention. But now that we are getting to this point, I believe I need just to refresh your memories to remind you of what I had said before. The problem we're having here, guys, it is all about the step-aside policy. The step-aside which President Ramaphosa and some of the ANC members have imposed on certain ANC members. And I have told you before that this step-aside policy, it is an easy way of trying to eliminate one another in the ANC. It is a way of telling you that we don't need you, we don't want you among us. So you are free to do your life. If you want to stay, stay. But just know that we're not going to give you any position. We're not going to use you. Because you are not going to be useful to us. It is a simple way of telling you that you are free to do your part if you want to. And this step aside, since it has been announced until now, it seems like it is picking up some people, right? It keep on picking up some people and leaving other people who have to walk free, whether they are right or not. Now, this step aside One of the most interesting part that knock or will knock many people out from the ANC activities, it is because it says once you are being charged, once you are being pursued by someone, once you are having some allegations to the point of you appearing inside the court, you will have to excuse yourself and step aside immediately. That it is something that President Ramaphosa don't need right now. Because if you look so far, everyone who have allegations against them, everyone who are being pursued, who are having some charges against them inside the court, they are already on the list of the step-aside policies of the ANC. Now, as you get to see for yourself, last year, December, the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Ramaphosa, was re-elected by the ANC delegates at the Nazareth Center so that he can continue to lead the ANC and represent the ANC in upcoming election in 2024. And you all get to see how it was all kind of like dramatic, because there were some delegates from the ANC who did not want to see Ramaphosa coming back. And that is the reason why they have to go and bring someone such as Zweli Mkhize to come forward and challenge the president. The result come out. We saw that the president was once again re-elected by the ANC delegates. Is that over? I said it before, no. Of course, people do not want to see the president continue with his mandate. People do not want to see the president being re-elected again for the second time. They will try by all means, by all way possible, to eliminate him, to find something against him. And this time, they could not find something better than what the former president himself had bring forward with his foundation to pass the charge against the President of the Republic. So, if Ramaphosa have to appear inside the court by next week, this ANC step-aside policy, it will be automatically applied against him. That one, there's no black and white where you come and say that, no, I could not sit properly, I need to sit in color. No. There is no way that someone will come and cheat. No. There is no way. There's like you just got stuck because it is the policy which you had set under your leadership and it will be applied to you. So which means President Ramaphosa will have to step aside and leave someone else. And obviously that person will be Paul Mashatile if that have to happen. So that is the reason why you get to see the president trying to fight so hard with his legal team. They try to convince the court. And proof to that, Dalimpofu came forward again after this scenario for the electricity went off. He spoke about it. They step aside. He tried to make the court understand the reason why President Ramaphosa lawyers are inside the court trying to defend him. They are here not because of something else, but they are here because of the side, for the step-aside policy, which will be applied to their president.
And my learned friend talks about the so-called, we were actively wanting to refrain from getting into this thing about the ANC conference and step-aside rule and what have you. But they keep on forcing it on us because they raise it in their correspondence, they raise it in their papers. I have one thing and one thing only to say about it. The entire step-aside debate is actually evidence that this court should not grant this relief. Why? Because on their own version, the so-called step-aside rule kicks in, so the harm related to the step-aside rule kicks in once you are charged. Right? So that has happened already on the 15th of December 2022. So let's assume for a minute this court grants this relief that is being asked for here. The step-aside rule will still be operational, because the only two things that can get the president or Mr. Ramaphosa out of that jeopardy, two are: one, that the summons and the charges are set aside in Part B, not here. Two, that the public prosecutor, the private prosecutor withdraws the whole thing. Apart from those two things, if he is, I don't know if he is vulnerable to a step-aside rule, then he will be, even if you grant this relief. Because the charges will still be there until the day they are set aside, expeditious, or rather on an expedited date or whatever. But not this court is incapable of getting him out of that jeopardy. And therefore, that harm is, as it was said in giant concerts, it's hypothetical, academic, but it's actually non-existent, that harm. It's manufactured and contrived just to create atmosphere.
So in other words, the harm is there already.
Yeah.
Whatever this court says, the harm is there.
Absolutely.
It may have not yet materialized.
But it's there.
But it's there.
Yes, and the way we understand it, Justice Olafe, is that, to be fair to my learned friend, they are also saying that it's potential harm in that extent. In other words, it's what I call the vulnerability.
Well, there you go. That is a Dalipofo getting to comment about the policy of the ANC, step-aside policies. And he get to repeat something that I spoke with you since last year. Last year we talked about this. So, we're going to see what's going to happen. Because I don't see the president giving up that easy, because he knows it's going to affect him in one way or another way. And what the President Ramaphosa is avoiding here is for him to find himself in the position which will have to be crucified himself by his own policies of step aside that he had put so far in the ANC. Because imagine if this allegation goes through and the president have to appear inside the court by next week. What else is he going to say? Are you going to say that, no guys, you see this step aside policies, it can't be appearing to me? I mean, it can't be applying to me because I'm your president? Or is he actually going to step aside to set that fine example for some other ANC members? Because when you get to listen to him last week, as he was busy giving his speech on the 111th birthday of the ANC, he spoke about the ANC, saying that no more pity anymore. If you mess up, you'll find the law in your way. If you mess up, whether you are the ANC councillor, whether you are working in the municipality, wherever you are finding yourself, you find out that the disciplinary system of the ANC will stand on your road and you will have to face it. So, after speaking all these beautiful words, this beautiful inspiration, what if this have to be applied on you? That's what we're going to wait and see. But the truth here, guys, as I said it before, that the problem is here. It is within ANC conflict. which they are trying to fight, which they are trying to show each other, like, okay, you have put this, you have done this, be ready to face with this as well. That is it, guys, for today. I wanted to discuss with you. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video until now. My name is Dobson Nyembe, and what I do in this channel time to time, we look at the daily trending topic. We pick up one topic, we come and sit down and try to discuss it with you so that we can bring up a closer, a better understanding of the matter, you know, because we deserve to know everything. That is the reason why we are here, and for those who always watch us, they know that this is what we do here time to time. So if you want to be part of this big family, all you have to do is just to subscribe right now to this channel. Give us your thumbs up, we will really do appreciate. And feel free to drop also your comment down in the comment section. Tell us what you think also about this battle that we get to see between the President of Republic, President Ramaphosa, and Jacob Zuma on other side. Okay, so that's, we'll have a look on it and try also to come back again and tell you more if you still want to get some clarity about it. Thank you so much for now. Continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon in the next video. Ciao, ciao.